Hey everyone, today I want to share a short but incredibly powerful story with you. It's about dreams, it's about sacrifice, and it's about a gift that costs absolutely nothing but is worth everything.
So, to get us started, let me ask you something. Just take a second and think about it. What is the most valuable gift you've ever received? It might not be what you first think. Just keep that question in the back of your mind as we go through this story together.
All right, so let's meet our main character. His name is Arjun. He's the young boy who lives with his father, a very kind, simple carpenter. Now, they didn't have a lot of money, but Arjun had something huge, this burning passion to become a great artist.
But here's the thing. There was this huge conflict going on inside him. On one hand, he had this incredible dream, this love for painting. But on the other hand, the reality of his life was tough. His classmates would make fun of his cheap paints and worn-out brushes, and that constant teasing, well, it really started to get to him.
And then, one day, it all became too much. He threw his brushes down, completely defeated. You can just feel the pain in these words, right? That's the sound of a dream just giving up under the weight of it all.
Now, his father saw all this happen, and instead of scolding him, he just quietly said this piece of incredible wisdom. But Arjun, he just wasn't in a place to hear it. He packed his paints away and stopped completely.
Okay, and this is where the story really takes a turn. Arjun might have put his dream to sleep, but his father? His father didn't. He held on to that belief for his son, and he started to do something about it, all in secret.
So, as the months went by, Arjun started noticing his dad was working way more than usual. He'd come home every night, just completely exhausted. And then, a few months in, he developed this cough that just wouldn't go away. Arjun could see his father was worn out, but he had no idea why.
And get this, every single day, no matter how tired he was, his father would gently ask him the same exact question. He was still holding out hope, but every single day, Arjun gave the same answer. No. What's the point?
And that brings us right to the heart of the story, a moment where a single object changes everything, revealing not just a father's incredible love, but also its terrible, terrible cost.
So imagine this. It's a cold winter evening. Arjun hasn't painted in months, and he walks into his room to find a box just sitting there on his table.
He opens it up and, wow, it's everything he's ever wanted. Not just paints and brushes, but the good stuff, professional-grade materials, the kind of set he used to daydream about. He was so happy he started to cry.
He immediately runs to find his father to thank him, just completely overwhelmed with joy. But in that exact moment, that peak of happiness, tragedy strikes. His father just collapses. At the hospital, the doctor's words were horribly simple. Overwork. His father had literally worked himself to the breaking point. His heart just couldn't take the strain anymore. All those extra hours, the exhaustion, it was all for that box. And lying there in the hospital bed, his father whispered these last unbelievable words to his heartbroken son. He made Arjun's dream his own, and he thought it was a price worth paying.
Now, in the middle of all this devastating loss, something inside Arjun started to shift. His father's sacrifice planted a seed that would grow into this new, unbreakable sense of purpose.
I mean, he was shattered, of course. But when he got home and he looked at that art set, that final gift, he didn't see expensive brushes anymore. He saw his father's love. He saw his sacrifice. He saw his belief. And so, he picked up a brush.
And his reason for painting was totally different now. It wasn't about proving people wrong. It wasn't about money. He was painting to honor the one person who believed in him, even when he didn't believe in himself. So years go by, and this new purpose, this new fire, fuels his art in a way that plain ambition never could. And it leads him to create what would become his true masterpiece.
And you know what? He did it. Arjun became the famous, celebrated artist he had always dreamed of being. He fulfilled the dream that his father had given everything for.
But no matter how famous he got, at every single one of his art shows, there was one painting that was always right in the center. It wasn't his most famous work or his most technical. It was just a simple portrait of his father, smiling.
And underneath that painting, he always placed a small plaque with this one sentence. He finally got it. The brushes, the paints, they were just things. The real gift, the one that truly changed his life, was his father's belief.
So, what's the big takeaway here?
I think this story tells us that real success isn't just about our own talent or hard work. It's about recognizing and valuing the sacrifices of the people who cheer us on. It's a reminder that our dreams get the real power from gratitude and determination, not from fancy things.
And that brings us right back to where we started. The most valuable gifts we ever receive are usually invisible. So I'll leave you with this to think about. Whose belief in you has helped create the masterpiece that is your life? And what are you doing to honor that incredible gift?